Welcome back. This is Mundane Merit Badges using humor and graphic design to make ourselves feel better, part 2. So this week we are going to talk about color. Last week we didn't add color. This week it's all about color, and specifically color schemes. Now, artists and graphic designers use the color wheel that you see here to help them make decisions about what groups or combinations of colors to use together to create different effects. And those color groups or combinations, those are called color schemes. So here's a great video. It's linked right here that explains a few really important color schemes. So I want you to pause the video right now, go watch this. It's linked in Google Classroom, and then come back. All right, go watch that video. So hopefully you're back. I want you to find something to write with right now, and I want you to take a few notes. Not a lot, don't worry. But I want you to review what you saw in the video, and I want you to write down these 3 color schemes. The first one is complementary. And what I want you to remember about complementary colors is on the color wheel that you see right here. Complementary colors are opposite each other. Blue and orange are opposite each other. Yellow and purple are opposite each other. Red and green are opposite each other. Complementary colors are opposite each other on the color wheel. Write that down. Once you've written that down, here's the next note I want you to take. Analogous colors. So remember, analogous colors are next to each other on the color wheel. There's usually 3 of them together. So green, green, and yellow. They're right next to each other. You're not skipping over any. Another good example would be red, purple, purple, and blue, purple, or blue, green, blue, and blue, purple. Any 3 that are next to each other are analogous colors. So write this down. Analogous equals next to each other. And the last color scheme I want you to know is monochromatic. Remember, mono means one, chroma means color. So one color, but it's variations of that one color, light versions of it and dark versions of it. So it could be any color. It could be blue, could be green, all right, could be purple, but it's light versions and dark versions of just a single color. So I want you to write that down. This is your last note that I want you to take. Monochromatic equals light and dark versions of one single color. So now you need to make some decisions because you're going to start coloring in your Mundane Merit Badges. And I want you to use each of these color schemes to color in your merit badges. So one badge will be using a complementary color scheme. One badge will be using an analogous color scheme. And the third badge will be a monochromatic color scheme. If you have more than 3, your extras, whatever you want, totally fine. All right, but you need to have at least one that's complementary, at least one that's analogous, and at least one that's monochromatic. If you need more inspiration for ideas for color schemes, I want you to go to this link right here, and you'll see it linked in Google Classroom. It's called Color Hunt. It's great. It's a whole bunch of sort of pre-figured out color schemes that look great. They have all different versions of them. And you can find complementary color schemes there. You can find analogous color schemes there. And you can find monochromatic color schemes there. And if you need more inspiration for picking your own color scheme, you can go there to get some ideas. So here's kind of an example from Color Hunt. This is one of their options. And this is a complementary color scheme. And you can tell that because blue, it's got blues and it's got this sort of orangey color. And blue and orange are opposite each other on the color wheel. All right, so this uses a complementary color scheme. And here is an example of a merit badge that was colored in using this color scheme. All right, so they used all these different colors, and this is how they colored it in. Now, before you go color in your badges, here's a few questions for you. This is kind of like your quiz. What color scheme did this student use? I want you to pause this video. I want you to write down which one you think it is. What'd you write down? I hope it was complementary. All right, red and green, different shades of red and green. Red and green are opposite each other on the color wheel. That's what complementary is. Let's try another one. So what color scheme do you think this student used? I want you to write it down. So I hope you wrote down analogous, because there's blues, there's purples, there's sort of like this bluish purple, blue, purple, and purple. They're all right next to each other on the colored wheel. So that's an analogous color scheme. And this one, what color scheme did this artist use? Pause for a second, write down what you think. So when I see this, I see different shades of blue. So different shades of one single color. There's light blue, there's medium blue, there's darker blue. All right. Different variations, light and darks, of a single color is monochromatic. So hopefully you wrote down monochromatic. And then I want you to take a look at this. So what do you think? Did this student use a color scheme? Yes or no? I don't know about that. This one, I see all sorts of colors. I see yellow, I see purple, I see like blue-green, I see blue, I see red, I see orange, blues and purples. This one maybe uses a color scheme, but not all three of them. And what else do you notice about these badges? Well, here's something that I noticed. They all look kind of different. Like the two on the left, they went over the lettering nice and dark, but the one on the right, they didn't. It's really hard to read the writing. The coloring is not really neatly done. They didn't really plan where they were going to color in. They didn't really think about their coloring technique. And it doesn't look like they maybe spent a whole lot of time on their drawing. Although this book right here, that's actually kind of cool. Like the 3D-ness of that. They look like they spent a little time on that, and their lines are nice and straight. But everything else, I'm not really sure they really spent a whole lot of time on making it look as good as they could have. So now, before you go color in your badges, make sure that you know what's on the rubric before you begin. So the rubric is in Google Classroom, and it's right in the assignment, okay? It's right in the assignment called Final Project. So make sure you go look at that, read the directions, and then click on the rubric at the bottom of that to make sure that you know exactly what you're being graded on. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to help. That's my job. All right, see you next time.